doing the work.
Now I want to shift our focus to another part of our recovery. I always talk about recovery for all of us. Recovery for all of us means making the city safer and safer. We are the safest big city in America, but we have more to do. And what we've learned over these last 8 years is that the best solutions occur at the community level. And this is really a sea change in thinking in terms of public safety. There's been a sea change of thinking in policing and in the NYPD. There's been a sea change in terms of understanding across all of the 5 boroughs how important community-based solutions to violence are, how important community leadership is, community involvement is. This is a new model that must be deepened because it is the future. We understood at the beginning of this administration that something was happening that was powerful. We saw the work of the Cure Violence movement, and it was brought together and formalized as the crisis management system in 2014. And that is a historical moment that has really not been fully recognized enough. We want to, in one of our last press conferences in this administration, talk about this powerful model and how it must grow further in New York City, but also all over this country. Because we found that true public safety requires deep community involvement, and certainly with neighborhood policing, the bond between police and community. But also true public safety requires community-based solutions. They are absolutely indispensable. And that means investing in efforts at the community level, led by community members with real ownership by the community to find their own solutions. These investments are absolutely necessary, and we've got to build on them. What violence interrupters do, and I think New Yorkers have some sense of it, but I really hope this becomes more and more of the discussion in this city. What violence interrupters do is incredibly noble. It's very hard work, it's very powerful work, and it makes a difference. De-escalating conflicts, stopping violence before it happens, steering young people in positive paths. It was crucial to me that we document this and that we make sure that New Yorkers got to see the fullness of this movement has grown over time. Our mayor's office for criminal justice has led the way, providing support and funding for these incredible community solutions. And we wanted to present to New Yorkers what's happening in a compelling way. And first, I want to give my recognition as mayor to the people who make the crisis management system work every day. And we're going to present a proclamation to the folks who have come here and really do this amazing work in the community. Everyone come on up. I want to just say to everyone, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Amazing work you do. Too often you've been unsung heroes. We are singing you today. We are singing your praises, giving our appreciation on behalf of the people in New York City. Are you live streaming? We'll give you a copy. No. But to everyone, you're doing priceless work, sacred work, and it's making a huge difference. And please share with all the members of this movement the deep thanks of the people of this city. I have the honor of representing all 8.8 million at this moment in thanking you, and on behalf of the people of this city, declaring today Crisis Management System, CMS Day, in the city of New York. Please. Thank you. God bless you all for the work you do. Thank you. And I want everyone to hear from, as I said, one of the originals, one of the founders.
Can I stay put behind me or not? Please?
You can have the coalition around you.
Yes, thank you.
He is the founder and CEO of Man Up, one of the architects of the New York City crisis management system. And I've gotten to know him over the years. This is one of the New Yorkers I've come to have a powerful trust in because he lives his values and he has lived the entire experience he's trying to address. And he's doing it with a heart and soul, and he's making a huge impact. He is literally saving lives. My pleasure to introduce a very good man, A.T. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Good morning, New York City. Today, as you mentioned, we've made history again. We stand here today as Crisis Management System Day here in New York City, and we're very proud. So on behalf of all of the Crisis Management System, the Cure Violence Global, and the Fund Peace Partnership here in New York City, I just want to say thank you, to you, to your administration, to the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice, with Marcos Soler, and of course Eric Cumberbatch and Jessica Mofield and their team. We're really appreciative of just being honored. We also want to say thank you to all of the city council members who represent the districts that we all work within, because without their support, without their dedication to us, we would also not be here today. So thank you to all the elected officials who's also played a key role from the beginning. I also just want to publicly thank all of my other brothers and sister comrades of this work here in New York and across the country. Those of us that have our boots on the ground day in and day out. We put our lives on the line, and that's been said oftentimes, our work goes unnoticed. But today I think it's a good day, because now we can honestly say that we are being recognized on the highest level, respectfully. So thank you to all of the brothers and sister comrades of the different organizations that are out there doing this work. We have many titles. As you know, the Violence Interrupter is a title, the Outreach Source Worker is a title. But we're all, I think we stand under what we call a credible messenger movement, and so we really want to appreciate you, and we hope that you continue to keep up the good work at keeping this city a safe and a healthier place for everybody to live. Prior to this administration, Mayor, we and other comrades, as you know, some of my other co-leaders, we oftentimes made our way here to City Hall with caskets representing, the lives that were lost on behalf of the families of the victims of violence. And we came and as advocates, we demanded that this city would pay attention. And today, I can honestly say that this city and this administration has recognized us. Not only have you continuously invited us into City Hall, into Gracie Mansion, into the meetings, and sat at the tables. You've come out to our communities. You've walked the streets with us. Your team have been constantly being in contact. You've helped us administer the monies and get the funding on the ground, and that's unheard of. You have changed the game here in New York. Under your administration, as you mentioned, we have become the largest Cure Violence Global replication site in the world. And we're very, very appreciative of that and hope that you will add this to your legacy, because you took a chance on us when no one else did. And you had faith in us. And hopefully we delivered our part of it. Like you said, a lot of our work goes unnoticed because these men and women, they do it from their hearts. And data is important, but we don't oftentimes capture all the data yet. But today's evidence is that the voices that we used to holler and scream at the building has been heard. We're here today because now the federal government and other levels of government are pouring support into our work. And so that means that our voices have been heard. I just want to conclude by saying that we are very optimistic and we're very excited about the new administration that's coming in, because they have some very big shoes to fill. And we're very confident that they will continue under the new mayor's administration to support our work, because we still have more work to do. We are only right now, we're still only working 8 hours out of the day, and any other emergency response team needs to be 24 hours and 7 days a week. And with that type of support, we feel more confident with more men and women like ourselves on the ground that we can bring down the gun violence in our city and again make our city the biggest, safest city in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And I gotta say, A.T., I really, really admire the leadership you provided.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to say that it is always striking to me when there are these successes, how there isn't enough sort of time taken to pay attention to them. Remember on Juve this year,
Yes, sir.
and there have been historic challenges, and this year there was not a single incident.
That's absolutely.
And that was because the crisis management system, Cure Violence Movement, deep involvement that day to make that joyous celebration a safe one as well. That was a triumph, and that was a model. I want to ask you two things. One, if there's one thing you could say, because you have the floor, if there's one thing you could say to help New Yorkers across all communities understand why this is so important, something you feel that has been missed in understanding this movement, what would you like to tell people?
Well, I think that the one thing that has been missed is that we've been oftentimes misunderstood. You know, this is the first time that our type of community representation has had opportunity to play a key role in government and in public safety. A lot of times people do not understand that our work is very intricate and it's very dangerous. And a lot of the work that we do is based on our credibility. And so that's something that we cannot compromise. It's the safety of our men and women who go out there with their credibility. But if you really look in between the lines, now you have a whole city of people who understand their purpose, they understand their part, and we're doing it. And as long as we are allowed to do it and do it the way that we know how to do it best, I think that at the end of the day, the whole city benefits. You know, and as your son mentioned, you know, the lives that are saved in between, the fights that we intervene and interrupt, that's something that everybody doesn't, you know, it shouldn't be for any and everybody to do. And the last thing I think it's important that people know is that these men and women are professionals, that they're trained, they're well-trained individuals. They're not just black and brown bodies that are in T-shirts or in sweatshirts on hot spots in the city. These men and women are very well-trained and professional at the work that they do. And so I think that's important that people understand who we are.
And I have seen it. I want to testify. I've seen the professionalism, the commitment, the extraordinary effort. I want people to get to know it. And that leads to my second point. I want you to be film reviewer. How did this young man do?
That was a fine piece, young man. I mean, I'm very impressed. Thank you so much for even you adding your contribution to it, because again, a lot of our work goes uncaptured. And so we appreciate your contribution. You did a fine job. That was a very nice snippet.
And you're going to see more.
Looking forward
And the
to
whole city is going to see more. And Dante, you done good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for spreading the message that needs to be spread, and it's going to help a lot of people be safe. Everyone, thank you. God bless you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
God bless you. Happy and safe New Year.
That's right.
Hold check, you look us, hold check, that mean peace. Put your peace signs in the air. And hold check for your family lost this year. And hold check for your family's locked up and they ain't here. Hold check if you trying to see change this year, yeah. Keep your peace signs in the air. And hold check for your family lost this year. Hold check for your fam locked up and they ain't here. Hold check if you trying to see change this year, yeah. Hold check. Hold check.